One of the topics that Leonardo Sweat dives into is racism in the workplace. In 2019, the typical median black worker earned 24.4% less per hour than the typical white worker. This is an even larger wage gap than in 1979, when it was 16.4%. Black workers face these significant and growing pay penalties relative to white workers, even after controlling for characteristics assumed to be related to productive capacity like education and experience. A quote from Economic Policy Institute. So this leaves us with the question, what were some challenges that were faced or observations that were made while being a person of color in a predominantly white workplace during the early 2000s? And here are some clips from interviews that I feel answers this question.
And that was just the beginning of fitting in the U.S. As you can tell, Jacqueline has a strong accent, and that brings with it a lot of unfair assumptions.
And I'm not worried about my accent, but I noticed that that is something that even that people can think that, oh, this person is not educated because her accent, or oh, she's from Mexico, so maybe she didn't finish the high school, something like that. That happened to me.
About 7 million manufacturing jobs have been lost since the peak of manufacturing employment in 1978. And this was a terrible trend for all manufacturing workers, of course. But as it turns out, black workers had it worse than the rest, to be frank about it. Unemployment went up and personal financial resources went down for everyone across the board. But black workers were more likely to be unemployed, and were also unemployed for longer on average than their white counterparts. And then you take worries about the historically well-documented wealth gap between black and white workers, and that just took these losses and made them worse.
To get a better idea of the effects of racism in the workplace, make sure to come see Sweat running October 3rd through October 8th at the Onyx Theater.